Hey, this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. And don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video. Now, September 2023. Let's talk about it. We're getting into eclipse season. We're getting very close. October 14th is the first eclipse. Then we have another one on October 30th. And so we're getting into the crazy part of the fall. It's starting off in August 30th because we have 3 moons, and the last moon is in Aquarius in Shawtee. I made a whole video about that. You can check it out. I can summarize for those who didn't hear it. It brings up themes of the stars, space, doctors, and brings up health matters on the rise. Clashes between civil servants and leaders until September 17th, when the sun moves into Virgo and is no longer aspecting enemy Saturn. Right now we have them opposing each other, which can cause strikes that involve children, education, travel. It also has to do with the condition of the country, the rulers, public health, and natural disasters, because the moon being so close to Saturn can cause many illnesses or deaths. It could also involve leaders stepping down, or even death of leaders as well. The other moon we have is the new moon, which will be September 14th in Uttara Falguni, which is getting off relaxation and getting ready for work, back to routines, back to old habits, and also public figures of all kinds. This could be United Nations, bankers, creditors, those in a service industry but from a high authority position. And its connection with Mercury, it has the ability also to be a trickster, good at lying, good at deceit, but also a lot of grace, a lot of kindness. So we have a lot of polar opposites that could be occurring with that. But issues with family and money will come to the forefront this month. Also because our full moon on September 29th is in Uttara Bhadrapada moon, which is the back legs of a funeral cot, which denotes our exit from this world, which can be about spiritual work, about yogis, about meditation, yoga, all of those things, having alternate states of reality. But it also is the physical part of dying, the physical manifestation, the literal part. And at that time, we'll have the sun in Hasta, which is the stock market, it's trade, it's business. And with this aspect of Rahu, and we also have Jupiter in retrograde there could be a financial collapse of some kind. I also see that because Jupiter is in retrograde, and I talk about that in my next video about Jupiter retrograde, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, Venus will be ending its retrograde on September 3rd, so we go back after that to revisit the themes that we just explored, the things we cling on to in our subconscious that may not be for our own good. We had to explore these fears and these demons, and we now can revisit them again before we finally heal. And then Venus goes into Leo. For some, our fears had to manifest, which was ultimately a good thing because they're no longer stuck within us. We learned the lesson so we don't have to do it again in 8 years from now when Venus retrogrades in that exact same spot. Now, a lot of things happen. A lot of people who had fears, I'll give you an example. Tory Lanez sentenced to jail. A fear, huge fear that people have of going to jail. But that was the demons that had to surface. That was something that had to happen so that he faced the fear. There was also people with relationship issues as well. People having to face a lot of demons within them. Maybe not physically, but maybe within them as well. So this is just a healing process. We also have Mercury, which will end its retrograde on September 15th. So Mercury will be retrograde until September 15th, causing a lot of confusion with back to school and back to work. Also making us revisit themes of health from the past. Travel plans could be delayed or canceled due to fires because of Mars in Virgo. Rahu's 9th aspect can cause a realization of an illusion. And some new information could be communicated to you, which can help you see through the illusion, through the Maya. And this could also have to do with entertainment, leaders, those in power, authorities, love affairs, any problems with the heart, health issues, employment, jobs, debt. debt. And Saturn is also aspecting this retrograde. So people could feel very restricted by authority figures, their boss, anybody in power. They could feel like they're making them work really hard all of a sudden, and that maybe things are very slow at being accomplished. And this could really be messing with certain people's minds, especially in the beginning of the month. But this is temporary, and don't let it get to you. It could make you feel depressed or limited, but remember, all that is limited is an illusion of this dual world. You're not truly limited. You are an immortal being. So get back to your true self. Don't let your ego take over your mind. And the thoughts are always our ego. So what we have to do is be more in presence and don't allow the mind to wander. The Mercury retrograde can also cause labor strikes. There could also be some cyber attacks, some hacking, things of that nature. Jupiter will be retrograding on September 4th until December 30th. This means that interest rates will be revisited, matters of finance, banking, commerce, the revenue of the country. This could also have to do with taxes, pension. So there's going to be a lot of extremes because this is about transformation. It's going to be in Bharani Nakshatra, which is transformation, death, rebirth. It's the birthing process itself. The birthing process is very unexpected when you don't really know exactly when the baby's coming, and it can be very painful and sacrificial. A lot of the matters, the Jupiterian matters, need to be transformed. And these will bring up matters of karma because this is ruled by Yama, the Lord of Death, who is all about karma, who assigns us our next birth based on our actions from our previous lives. So people will face their karma, and that could be good karma. It's not always bad karma. That could be amazing karma. And that finally you get to transform. It could bring massive wealth, but it could also bring wealth deficits as well. So it just depends on your chart. Now, publishers and writers can go through life-changing events as well because these are Jupiterian issues. And remember, Jupiter will station at 21 degrees September 20th and aspecting Mercury in Leo. So this can increase confusion and transformation, any issues of health, employment, debt, trade, travel. This could also be children as well. But then on September 25th, then it aspects it again, and this could be very beneficial to writers, anyone in communication and travel jobs, health, writing. All of these things could get a lot of good luck can be brought to you because of that. Now, for the US, Jupiter is the lord of the first and fourth house. So this is directly affecting the country as a whole, and this could be a weather disaster. And it's also in the fifth house, affecting gambling, the stock market, the entertainment industry. Major changes are happening in the US. Sometimes this can be a good thing just because Jupiter can be very good in the fifth house, but with all the major changes happening with the US, this could actually be very detrimental as well because the US is going through Shawtee, and that is bringing some life-changing events to the US. And I have a video about that on my channel where I go through all the aspects of the US and the astrological details of the US, and you can check that out. Also, Rahu will be hitting 1 degree of Aries, and that is very close to the Gandanta point, which is 0 degrees. It won't be at 0 degrees until November. We're nearing the nodes changing. The Gandanta means the knot at the end. It means it's a part of the zodiac with transformation. It has to do with going from water to fire elements or vice versa. And it is a problem in a life that's difficult to unravel. It's a junction located between destruction and creation. So it can bring challenges and chaos. This could also make the fires worse because in 2005, the California fires happened. This was a major disaster in the US where we had 7,000 fires. Over 200,000 acres were lost. And that's when Rahu was at 27 degrees of Pisces. And so as we are approaching that, we're not there yet, but the fires and disasters could get a lot worse in California and the US because it's undergoing Shawtee. And like I said, I can kind of see some major events happening in other placements as well. Also, Rahu is in the degrees that Jupiter was when there was a major collapse in 1987, a major financial collapse, which actually triggered the first contemporary global financial crisis, which was October 19th, 1987, which was known as Black Monday. That's when the Dow Jones average dropped 22.6%. Now, Jupiter won't get to that point of 0 degrees, but Rahu is there, and there is a possibility that this could occur again. Just because Ashwini is the businessman, it has to do with markets and trading, and Rahu is very unpredictable. We'll also have an eclipse happening affecting this degree October 14th, and we're approaching that as well. So it is something to be aware of. Also, September 3rd, Rahu will be at 1 degree on August 29th. So by the time you're seeing this video, it's already at 1 degree. September 3rd, the moon will conjunct Rahu. And then on the 4th, Jupiter retrogrades. The moon conjuncting Rahu can show that something can physically manifest. And this may be the beginning of what we see of maybe the markets. It could actually hit a high, which is what happened in 1987. First, it hit a huge high, and then it hit a huge low. Jupiter will be retrograding in Bharani Nakshatra before Ashwini. Bharani is all about transformation, extremes, highs and lows. So there is a possibility, I would say, just to keep your eye on that. Also, Mars and Ketu will be very close at the end and conjunct at the end of the month, and will conjunct on April 4th. Now, this could bring out a lot of impulsivity. Aggressive acts could be on the rise. Deaths can occur also in business, finance, screenplay writers, relationships, creative pursuits. There could be an up of cheaters and manipulators. This aspect will also be heightened during the eclipse on October 14th. So we're kind of nearing that. The eclipse on October 14th is all the 6th, 12th, 8th house and 2nd house. So these are very difficult houses that can show us health issues, deaths, and matters of finance. So as we approach that, and as we approach the nodes changing in November, where we have K2 going into Virgo. Virgo is the stocks, it's a market, but it's also health, and K2 is loss. We have to be aware of that as well. It may be because of flu season, it may be because of who knows, but there's definitely some issues, especially with the US going through a lot, and the US does affect the whole world. So those are just a few things that I see. I appreciate you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.